everyone, and welcome to yet another episode on the Raw Mango Story today. Raw Mango Story today, we have with us Mayuri Negi, who has close to 3+ years of experience as a financial analyst with firms like Moody's Analytics and Blackstone. So, welcome, Mayuri. Guide viewers watching this program on what are the various phases of campus jobs and off-campus jobs.
Right. Thank you, Priya, first of all, for having me here. See, there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages for both the perspectives. Like if you're going for an on-campus job or you're going for your off-campus. So let's just start with on-campus first. So I would say there are a lot of advantages in terms of when you're going for an on-campus, everything is there laid out as a platter for you. For example, you don't have to do that hunting process. The first step for your off campus, like you have to apply for a certain number of jobs through different platforms,
Things become
and then
easy.
it depends, right, it depends on the the party or the organization, that will they contact you, will they accept your CV and give you a call for an interview. So
Agreed.
it the first steps become a little easy,
Agreed.
just that the entry door is open for you. It's just that the difference, that entry door is open to you. You have to just go in and give your interview in your on campus. Then you have like every college have their tie up with certain organizations, wherein you know that certain number of companies are coming in for your interview process or for hiring, and they have this criteria that this number of people will be taken from this campus. So these kind of advantages are always there uh, on campus. And in addition to this, there is a perspective of the teachers, because your professors are already there and they have already seen several number of batches who have passed out and who have given this interview for this certain company. So they can guide you that so and so company, if this company is coming, their criteria are generally these, so you need to prepare on these topics. So this gives you an advantage of how to prepare for a certain kind of
Agreed.
interview. So these are the small advantages of an on-campus interview. And then if you see the disadvantages, there are a number of disadvantages, as you have this certain colleges have, like different college have different criteria. If I talk about my college from where I have done my masters, so they had a limitation, you can sit for these number of interviews. If you don't crack those interviews due to any of the reasons, so you'll not be eligible for the next one. For example, if you're taking that you can only sit for 10 organizations, so they'll not allow you to sit for the 11th one. See, this is there for most of
This
the
becomes
colleges, because
disappointing. If you're not able
I
to
agree.
crack those 10 for some reason, by the 11th one, you're already broken, emotionally, mentally, and, grinding through that particular process. And then then the college pressure of not letting you appear for the 11th one is a very, problematic situation to be in.
Right, I do agree with you, Priya. But I think, see, they also have a perspective that they have a number of students. If they, for example, if I am there and I have allowed to be in 10 of the interviews, they'll not ask me to sit, they'll not allow me to sit for the 11th one, because they also have other students who they need to place. So for them, everybody is equal. But I also personally feel that this is not the right condition. This is not a conditioning. Like if you ask a
Exactly.
person that these 10 interviews are only,
Yes.
maybe, yeah, maybe it's a case that those people who have come for hiring, their profile does not match your skill sets or something or the other. I think there are n
Goes
number of
wrong.
things.
There are n number of things which
Right.
can go wrong. Yeah. We
And
completely
at certain
understand that.
right, or and certain things are not in your hand. Maybe there's some mismatch. It cannot,
Exactly.
like, every time it cannot be your mistake. So there are those
Yes.
factors as well, which if you see on a totality, so these things are there which come up. This is, I do agree with you, very disheartening, because
But
at that point of time,
yeah, but Mayuri, I mean, every college, when you go and you want to get admitted into those colleges, where, when you're trying to look for a college for yourself, basically for a course, be it BTech or an MBA, they tell you that, okay, this such and such company visits our college, and, there are these many number of students who get placed. But that is not the reality in most of the cases, hardly, say, for example, if there is a batch of, say, 40 students, in an year, and only 10 or 8 of them get placed. So that is the kind of reality that also exists. And while we say that, we also have to understand that it is not that the other 20 or the 30 students who remain out of the lot do not get placed. They do get placed, but they have to put in efforts, on them, on their own. The college does not help, right?
Right, right. I do agree with you, Priya. See, when you are going for an admission, or very simple example, they'll show you all everybody has this thing that they'll show the best thing they have. When I'm selling something, it's just that when you are going for an admission,
Exactly.
everybody, like for example, we go for an interview, we sell ourselves, we sell our skills, right?
Yeah.
So this is how they also portray everything which is good. So they'll not see, if I'm saying that 40 out of my 40 batch of 40 students, my 20 students did not get a job from the campus, I'll not highlight this point at that point of time. See, we had 40 people and only 20 were selected, 20 were rejected. So this is not there. This is the reality. The
This is
real
the
picture is,
reality.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
And
very,
there's
I didn't
nothing
say,
to be disheartened about it. This happens with
right, right,
almost everybody every year. Just that the kind of pressure that we've built in for ourselves, the society puts on us, the parental pressure, the peer pressure, all of this in total amounts to such a big problem, and you are not able to function in scenarios like this. So that becomes a problem. Not getting
right.
placed
And
is not that big a problem. The bigger problem is the kind of pressure that you take in from all dimensions and all walks of life, and you are not able to function, you are not able to execute anything, take any practical steps.
right, right. And it's not a scenario like, for example, if you take the example of those 20 students, it's not that they did not perform well or they don't have the
Exactly.
caliber. That's not the scenario.
Yeah.
It's just that, like rightly you said, that it's just that the pressure we create on ourselves, and we get into a zone where we are not working on our own skills
Hmm.
and our workings towards our goal, but we then get just stuck on those things that 10 people have said this, and this person has bagged that job, he's getting a package of certain amount, he's got into some big, very big firm. So
Well known
it's just
name,
that
well known
yeah.
tag.
So these things make you weak, and then you lose your perspective,
Exactly.
which which is there. So this should not be a case. I think from the college side as well, you do get this from your from the committee who's looking into your placements. They also will, I am sure they also say these things to students. I have given you 20 opportunities, you have not cracked it, this means you are lacking somewhere. So this is there. And I think from your professors also you will get this thing कि यार इतनी
Hmm.
opportunity दे दी
Hmm.
तुमको, तुम नहीं कर पाए, it's your
Huh.
ये तुम्हारी कमी
Hmm.
है. So don't get disheartened. Like initially I'm saying this, don't get disheartened. You still work on what you are looking forward to. You, it's just that until and unless you work and you move forward, don't get stuck with these thoughts that
Exactly.
it's not in you, you cannot do it. So just ignore these things.
Exactly. So, Mayuri, can we, draw a conclusion from this that it is okay to get a job, on campus, off campus, things don't matter. Just that you have to put in, a bit of extra effort when you are trying to get a job off campus, because you don't get, interviews, somebody else is not there, your college is not there lining up those interviews for you. You have to apply yourself and get that interview call. So that part, that much of work also you have to put in, which in case of on campus your college does for you.
Right. So, as rightfully said by you, it's just initially when you're going for on campus, it's the
Hmm.
college who's pitching in for you, right?
Exactly.
They'll already create a setup that, we have these number of students,
Hmm.
they have this skill, that skill, we have taught them this and that, and they'll create a background for you, they'll set that plateau for you. You just have to go and give your interview, and it's not that they lay out everything and everything will be done, like you'll get the job. It's that you'll have to crack that interview. But
Exactly.
that first step, that the entry thing, the door will be open for you, wherein for your offshore, you will have to be the one who will just go and knock at several doors, and then you
Exactly.
have to see that which door opens up for you. So this is always there, but you have to make sure that you already said this very rightfully, that for an off campus you need to be really very well equipped, and you need to have some additional skills, because initially on campus, when you are, you know you are at par with 40 students, like your
True.
competition is 40 with 40
Agreed.
students. In the outside world, the competition automatically increases. The number is, you
You
don't
know,
know how many people for a certain
exactly.
job, how many people are
Exactly.
applying for. So that is always there.
Yes. So, Mayuri, we've already discussed about the on campus and
Okay.
off campus job opportunity and that side of things. Now that when we are talking about jobs, a very important, thing that comes into our mind is how to build a resume, and or how should an ideal resume of an MBA graduate look like. So,
Right.
if you could explain a little about that.
Yeah, so I feel, Priya, your resume is very important. See, your first impression here is your resume. That paper or that email you send out to a person, he'll just see, read, and then make an opinion whether he needs to talk to you or not. So that has to be on point, and on point means a certain things you need to be very cautious of. It's the activities you are putting in your CV. First thing I would say, very generic, that is, once you're writing a certain, even a sentence you are writing on your CV, you need to make sure you know that what is the meaning of that one, even one word that's written on your CV. So
Exactly.
you need to know in and out of that one paper or two paper resume you have made. And there should not be any scenario wherein the interviewer is asking, he's read something on your CV and saying that, okay, you have done so and so project, let's have a discussion on this, and you are blank. This is the
Exactly.
worst thing you can do to yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, so
This
make
kind of
sure you see.
instantaneously tells the interviewer that you are not genuine. Even if you are not,
Right.
say for example, you've not worked, on that project specifically, still be equipped with the details of it.
Right. You need to be very sharp and very equipped. If you have not done that project, you have written it there. Still, you need to have those few things that you can tell him and convince him. Okay, he's done something.
Exactly.
See, as a fresher, people won't expect that you need to know each and everything. They also know that you haven't worked in the industry, because the process is a little different of asking question. The person who will be interviewing you, rather than the HRs, like the on your technical side, there'll
Exactly.
also be people who are experienced. So they know. See, if I'm 10 years of experience, I'm working on a certain thing, I cannot ask that question to a person who's just a fresher. He must not be knowing that in
Exactly.
terms of technicality. So make sure whatever is there on that paper, your CV, you should be able to answer in and out of it. Don't blank at any point of time. If you don't know certain things, you can still at least relatable cheese wala hota chahiye, that you explain that thing to that person. And secondly, on the point that what all should be the key point or key factors which should be on your CV, so that the person who's interviewing you know that you have done something in your MBA. So firstly, you need to, I think this is compulsory, that in your master's program you need to do an internship.
Hmm.
So you should be very careful in selecting your internship, and write your internship. Like, see, write the topic. First, write the organization with which you have worked as an intern. Then your heading of your project on which you have worked, and should be your internship. And then, in addition to your internship, you must have done a lot of projects. Like in your MA Master is all about your projects, your
Exactly.
presentation, and everything. So your project should, like, see, if I have done 10 projects,
Hmm.
there should be at least 4 projects which are on point with all my supportings. I have a book ready with my summary, my analysis. Everything is ready in a file to present the person. So I should have that 4 projects listed on my CV. So that's one
Great.
thing. One
Hmm.
something else in addition to your internship, which should
Hmm.
always be there, so that you can, which can act as a selling point, or can act as a point
Proof
that
of
which
that,
proof
this
of your
person is has done something during the internship and is capable of learning when I give him or her an on job training, you know.
right. So these kind of things should be there. Summary should be apt with your key skills. Then you have
Hmm.
your certain skills. Like if you know, you should be very like in the financial background, you should be very well versed with your Excel, your Tableau. Tableau is something which you can still learn on the job once you enter a job, but Excel should be you should be good with Excel in at least with the basic formulas. So your CV should consist of these things, and then
Uh-huh.
what else should be there in the CV? I think mostly
um,
these two.
Mayuri, what do you have to say about the certifications? People are really apprehensive, spending a lot of money going in for certifications during their college, maybe because of the fact that they're already paying for the college fees, and they're not very sure if these certifications are not, the phishing scheme for, just taking away their parents' hard-earned money from them. So, what do you have to say about that? Are there any really, very specific and authentic sources that you would recommend yourself that students should go and, check out and probably start learning from there in order to improve their resume with legit kind of certifications?
Yeah, Priya. So I was, in addition to your CV building, you
Hmm.
should have some additional point which, which distinguish you from the crowd. So certification is a very good advantage. I'll tell you what, like how these certifications can help you. Firstly, it builds your CV. If you say, in addition to my project, in addition to my internship, I have done certain certification as well with a certain proof. See, what's the advantage of doing certification is that you get a certification which validates that this person has completed
Exactly.
this kind of learning, and
Hmm.
he has this certificate validating that it has been successfully done. He is well versed of this and this activity. So there are a lot of certification. There are a lot of websites wherein you can do a lot of certification. For example, for trading related things, you can go to NSC, BSc. They have a lot, like a number of courses. So you can just browse and see. They have summary. What is the course all about? And then I think they are not very expensive as well, and you can go and do those certification through these websites.
Hmm.
And I think the second very big advantage of doing certification is that initially when you're doing your masters, you know that okay, you are working, you'll be working in the financial field. So but finance is also a very broad horizon. So once you do one certification of your interest, for example, if I like corporate accounting, I do a certification on corporate accounting, and then I see, there's something on trading as well. Let me try and do this, right? So you try and learn a lot of things which diversify your area, which helps in your CV, and you also get to know that maybe I'm thinking that I'm good at this, but after doing a certain course on some other thing, I
Hmm.
know, this is also very interesting.
Hmm.
You get intrigued towards it. Then you feel, oh, let's learn something else also about this. So this will help you, identify that key area on which you can, further build. And then, probably you would like to do a job in that background. So I think these are the advantages of doing it. Certification, like on your CV side, on your building, on your self analysis and your career building. And on your second part, like the pricing, see, we always have like I also have this thing, यार इतना पैसा तो कॉलेज को दिया है ना पढ़ाने के लिए, so I
Exactly.
should be for certification. But you see,
Hmm.
if you really want to learn something, and for that you are paying a certain amount. See, I don't think so. There are few certification which are under 10,000, and there are some specific certification which may be more than 10,000. They go to 50,000 or so and so. But then the course will be different, or the curriculum will be different, or maybe they are providing you some sort of study material or something of that sort. So I think if you can try and do certification under 10,000, that can help you once you do something. on trading, I like something on trading, I've done a certification of 2000 rupees, then you are more interested, then you yourself feel like investing and getting to know things, because in trading you have this practical
Yes.
implementation implementation as well.
Hmm.
So these kind of things, then you yourself feel like let's invest in it. So those things are always there. Don't just feel this, that I've spent so and so much money on my college, so let's not spend a more 2000 or 10,000 on other certifications. See, it's just like we go out and have breakfast or lunch with our friends, we'll spend that amount anyways. So it's better to invest in something which can help you in the future. So
Hmm.
I think just try
So,
it once.
Mayuri, do you think these certifications, help us help us get in line a little closer to what is happening on job in the organizations that we are applying to?
Yes, yes, Priya, this can see. For example, I know that next to next week, a specific company is coming up, and they have given a profile and they have summarized their requirements, that data analytics, the job profile says you'll be working on data analytics or
Hmm.
some kind of specific analysis. So I saw this data analytics part somewhere, and I see, oh no, I've seen some kind of a small short-term
Huh.
training or certification program on data analysis. Let me try that. Maybe that help me in that job. So
Exactly.
if you do that certification, you'll get to know, you'll have a better perspective of what it is. Then that will help you in the interview process, and then you can get pitched for yourself. See, I've done this certification, I knew this, your company was coming in and the job profile says so and so, and I've done this certification, which shows that how eager, how interested, and how involved you are, and how you interested you are in that job. So this gives a very positive perspective also at the time of an interview, and it gives you knowledge and gives you a clear understanding. So
Agreed.
this is like a win-win situation, and it's a very good advantage,
Exactly.
opportunity you can avail.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Mayuri, this is, we've discussed, about resume building now. So, when it comes to, applying off campus, what are your favorite go-to options? I know for sure few of them would be Naukri and LinkedIn. So,
Right,
what do you
right.
have to say about it?
See, from my personal experience, I would really say these two options, which are Naukri and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I think Naukri, a lot of people say that you don't get calls, but it's not that scenario. If you update your CV in a certain way, you build your profile in a certain way, you do get calls.
Okay.
So on this, I'll just give a small brief on how to update your, Naukri profile, and
Yeah.
how do you get calls, and how these things work. So let's just take up Naukri first.
Hmm.
So once you're updating your profile, make sure you complete the criteria. Like they have a lot of
Sections, different
separate
sections.
sections. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have separate section for separate activities. You need to upload your CV. That's there, and your CV should be updated. You shouldn't be like, if you are sitting
Exactly.
towards the end of your second year, your CV shouldn't be a very outdated CV of your initial phase when you came to college. You just started two projects and
Exactly.
you written that. That's not how the CV should look like. You should have a proper updated CV on your Naukri. Then I
So
think
that means we need to keep
now
updating it regularly. As
updating
and
it
when we
regularly.
acquire a skill, we need to keep adding that to the resume. Yeah.
Right, that's
Please go ahead.
very
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah, so that's very helpful. You should make sure that your CV, which you upload, should be updated. And once you do something else, you have acquired a new skill, you have done a new project, do add that in your CV. Right, and then you have certain, other things which you can update on, like they have summary. So there also you have this section wherein you can update your internships or your experience. Like a fresher would not have an experience, so their internship would be an experience for them. So you can mention the organization name, the project you have worked on, a small summary stating what you have done in your
Mm.
internship. Then I think recently Naukri has also added a lot of features wherein you can link you can give your link to your LinkedIn profile. Then there are things wherein you
Key
can put in
skills.
your research papers,
Yeah.
skill sets, research
Yeah.
papers. So research papers, internship, skill set, and
So,
Uh,
Mayuri, I have a question on the key skill section of Naukri. So, I think a lot of freshers don't understand is, how to use that key skill section. So, if you could explain a little as to how, including keywords from the job description of various companies into the key skill section of Naukris help students get better calls.
Right. So yeah, Priya, so this is always there that you need to have some keywords which will be pick in your SEO, and how that your CV or your profile will be looked at from the perspective of the
Hmm.
person who's looking for hiring. So you should make sure, like for a person who is working, wants a job in finance. So see, Excel is something very basic which you should be well versed of. At least the basic things should be there. So your these kind of, and your project activities, I would say, as a person who is very fresh in the industry, who's just starting out, go through the job profiles you're interested in. You see 10 postings for a job that they require, which match your profile. Just pick up the keywords they have mentioned out there. If they
Hmm.
say that what are the requirements, they require Excel, they require Tableau, they are looking for a data analyst, they are looking for a corporate accountant,
Hmm.
or these kind of keywords, go through at least. This is like just a small number, that five postings you've seen. Go through n number of postings, pick up words. I'm sure you'll see a lot of words which are common for these postings. Pick up those words and add those words in your key skills.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you write something which you don't have. See, if you're right,
Yeah,
you've
you have
written
to
something,
justify that in eventually.
you have exactly, because that doesn't make sense. A person, if a person is specifically looking for a person who's well versed with Tableau, and he just wants to hire a person who know in and out of Tableau. Tableau is in itself like, there are a lot of things, dashboard building in Tableau. So there are a lot of things. If you write, yeah, you have basic knowledge of Tableau, that is acceptable. If you write that you know advanced Tableau, and then at the time of your interview you don't know what it actually is, what is a dashboard creation, so that doesn't make sense. But yeah, through this you can help yourself to get noticed by adding keywords. So this is always there. And then this is the new feature of linking your LinkedIn account. So you need to make sure that your CV, your Naukri plus your LinkedIn, everything is updated. And I would like to add, Priya, one more like there's a specific column for research papers. So if you are interested, you should
Hmm.
have something like kind of an analysis. You just during your course, just take one firm and see their balance sheet for maybe their 10 years projection, or their performance in the past 10 years, and do an analysis on that. And just go to
Hmm.
your professors, and then you can have a quick discussion with him,
Hmm.
how he can also, obviously they'll give you a lot of inputs how you can improve. Then create a small summary. Put that summary in your Naukri. Put that summary, or your understanding or your interpretation of their that certain company on your LinkedIn account. So this will help that, if somebody is scrolling through a LinkedIn profile and he see that you write a lot of articles or small summaries, or you pick up current
Exactly.
situations, like the current scenario, how the market is working, or the fluctuation in prices or
Hmm.
recession. So they'll be intrigued to see your profile, that okay, let me just see how this person is. Then this will instigate that, okay, I have seen that this person writes a lot of articles on the current situation, he has a perspective. So that person may come forward and call you for an interview. So this is how you can highlight yourself, or you can step up and just create an identity in that crowd. Because on LinkedIn or any other platform like Naukri, there are n number of people who will post their CV, they will post their profile, but you need to have that edge over others. So this is something which will help you.
Yeah. So, Mayuri, when we are already talking about LinkedIn and the importance of having an updated LinkedIn profile and having a lot of activities around whatever is current to the market, do you think for freshers, for people who are just passing out of college, reaching out to people who are in a similar domain that they want to get jobs into helps? Do
Yeah,
people actually help through LinkedIn? Do they refer you through
see,
LinkedIn?
see, Priya, I feel that I'm not very my I don't have a practical experience like I have bagged a job through LinkedIn. That's not a scenario, but I have experience of my friends which who tell me that yeah, this has happened with them. People do get opportunities, they do get called for an
Hmm.
interview through their LinkedIn profile.
Huh.
So you need to have connections. And I
Exactly.
think we are just focusing on the job, but to get that job, you see, when you go through and scroll through the profiles of CEOs or maybe people, senior analyst, or maybe any designation,
A
you
person
can
who is
see
experienced in that particular field. Yeah.
experienced in the industry. Yeah, they also write articles or they share some articles written by somebody else or something or the other. That reading process also improves you. Like it does add a value to your current knowledge. That does give you a perspective how things are moving, how in the industry things are working. Maybe a small article on a certain topic will help you. You just it's just that you read that article and then at some point of time if somebody asks you like there's a certain question on that topic, you'll remember that you had read that article already.
Hmm.
And so this can also add as a knowledge building process also. And do connect with these people by updating your profiles. You can just reach out to them. It's see, that's why there's a professional side LinkedIn. Like you do have other
Exactly.
sites as well. So this is something professional you can do. You can reach out to people saying that I have done my masters or I have done so and so course, and I'm looking out for opportunity. If there's something in your organization, please let me know, and then you can give your CV and or any
Yeah.
other. Obviously, they can see your LinkedIn profile, but you can send them something
Yeah, and
which can help.
also, Mayuri, in scenarios like these, when we are reaching out to people via LinkedIn, along with the resume and the kind of work that we want to do, if we have, already been through the career site or section of a particular company, and we are approaching an employee of that company, we could let them know that, say, hey, this is a particular job ID that we want, you to refer us to, and please take it ahead from here. So I think people would not be that hesitant to help you, and people do help in those scenarios.
Right, right. Priya very rightfully said that, it's very good if you already, I'm reaching out to somebody who's working in Amazon. I've already applied for a certain job. I know, this profile suits me. I have those kind of skills which they are looking out for. And
Yes.
if you are reaching to somebody and telling them, this profile has been posted on the website, and I feel that I fall into the criteria and I'm eligible for this, I've already applied for it. And you can even ask for this, that can you take it forward. You can even ask them their suggestion, their point of view. They've already working in
Mm,
that organization, so they can at least help you to guide you that this is the process. You can
exactly.
start. They can tell you 2 3 topics you can prepare these. This may help you. So these kind of helps can also be reached
Mm,
through LinkedIn. So this is a win-win situation. Like you get your, it's not that you're reaching out to say I need a job. I reach out to Priya, I need a job, can you please refer me. So this is not the right criteria,
exactly.
and not
Not
right
the right
way to
approach
reach
as well.
out to
Yeah.
some. This doesn't make sense, because maybe there are 10 or 20 other people sending that person in a message or an email saying that I want a job. That doesn't, you need to be very specific, because other person does not see. For example, maybe that person does not have time to read your message, but at least if you say this is the designation I have already applied for, then that person will at least get a background. Okay, this person has done this thing, let me see his profile. If he is the person, maybe he is the person who's looking
Mm,
in his team, he is looking for a person to be hired, and then he sees, okay. So this is how you can reach out to people. Be specific, specify what job position you are applying for. Don't give random things, random messages to 10 and 100 people saying that I need a job. This is not the right way.
actually, yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Messages with details, specific details,
messages
help.
with details. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
This is
Mayuri, you've worked at two very renowned organizations, Moody's Analytics and Blackstone. So in your tenure with these two, if I say that you please name, 2 to 3 key skills which each and every financial analyst must acquire or must have, to be a part of the role, what would be those key skills?
Right. So, yeah, Priya, I think there's a lot of difference in what we learn in our
Hmm.
college and what is actually the job work which we do in our jobs. So, mostly you learn a lot of things where once you on the floor, like on the floor training, once you get a job, that's something different. But before, initially in college, what we actually learn is all theory. So, it's everything is
Sad
theory,
but
and
true.
then yeah, so everything is theory, and then you get that hard hit reality once you step into job, and then you have to do everything practically.
कि कुछ आता
So
ही
make
नहीं
sure,
है.
see, हाँ हाँ, फिर लगता है कि यार अच्छा ये पढ़ा तो था पर करना कैसे है?
हाँ,
So this is
exactly.
always there. So, but for these things, I think for finance people, uh, I just let's just add one more point that at times before you even give an interview, there's a filtering process wherein you get a written test or you get an Excel test for
Yeah.
most of the finance people. So they are tests like this is kind of a filtration if you go off campus because the number of people are the n number of
It's
people. So
huge.
how do I filter out, right? So I
Yeah,
cannot call everybody for an interview. It's not possible for a HR also to call a lakh one for one position, interview lakhs of people. So
exactly.
what they do is they just put out a Excel test, like what I have experienced. I have also given a number of Excel tests as a first step of the interview process. So they'll just give you an online Excel test. It won't be very tough. It'll be basic Excel knowledge,
Hmm.
as simple as lookups and if functions. So they'll just give you a test with 5 formulas and certain data, and they'll say that they'll ask you to solve that Excel with certain formulas. So this is kind of a filtration process. So Excel is a must. I'm not saying that you should be you know aware of advanced Excel, but at least your basic Excel should be there. You should be knowing basic Excel. So this is also a filtering criteria. So Excel is very important first of all. Then if you are doing projections or I think in colleges this is very common that you do projection and balance sheet analysis. So make sure when you see a balance sheet analysis, so there what you do is with the help of formulas you derive that okay, this is the profit, this is the loss, this is the ROI, and okay, this has increased 5%. You give your assumptions, but at the back you do this because that is required in your college. In addition to this, do a practical thing, create a spreadsheet, take the numbers,
Hmm.
calculate the profit on your own, and then after your workings do the analysis, and then just go and check their website for their complete balance sheet or their projection, and see how close you could have reached, or how close you have reached, and how your analysis, how they have derived their analysis, how you have derived your analysis, which will help you. So for every analysis there should be a practical work you should do. Excel is always a must, and then you need to create an understanding for everything. So I
Hmm.
think those things are there which are required, and once you step in, go for a job, for all different kind of process, there'll be different kind of training. So that's all like that the organization will provide you, right?
Okay.
Because for example, in my first job it was a credit rating job. So and my second job was completely a different job. So they did train me on a certain things, but the profile which I shifted, like in my second job, the profile was completely different, right? So this is how you will get that training learning. But yeah, in the first job they gave me training on certain things which will help you in the second job, because there are some things are really common, like the Excel formulas and all. I did get a
Exactly.
lot of knowledge of Excel, shortcuts, these kind of things, which do help me further. But in
Hmm.
terms of your process, you learn it on the job. So don't get very finicky about some
Yeah,
things, like you need to know everything, but certain basic things you should know. And try to gauge whatever you have, try to create an edge over others, because that will help you in the process.
exactly. And Mayuri, I mean, so far we've talked about, the practical aspect of things, on campus jobs, off campus jobs, and then, the skills required, profiles, how do you update them, and things like that. But then there is a very important aspect, which is, the emotional aspect of things when you are into the grinding process and you have not gotten a job yet, and you, along with learning a lot of things, you also have to take care of what I mean, not actually take care of, but listen to, willingly or unwillingly listen to what a lot of other people are trying to tell you. There are folks who've already received a job, and you haven't received yet. Then there is society pressure, there is parental pressure at times, and you do not want to go back to your parents and tell them that okay, I have not received a job yet, and things like that. So these are very uncomfortable situations to be in. But unfortunately, in the scenario that there is today, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are in that particular situation. People received job offers, but then later they were denied, and now they are without jobs. So what do you have to say about the emotional aspect of coping with situations like these?
So currently, I think this is not the right situation. I mean, due to the pandemic, the whole scenario has changed completely. People don't know what to do, how to do, and as you already said that yes, people did get a offer letter. They were revoked just because the firm doesn't know how they have to function, because maybe there's some,
Hmm.
the resources are so much they cannot manage their work, or they, due to pandemic, their business has reduced. So I
Hmm.
think now the situation has changed completely.
Hmm.
But this point is very important, that in a normal situation also, in pandemic, it has, it has increased to another level, because the situation is such, people don't get a job, or they have received a job and it's been revoked. But at every time you should be mentally prepared for this. There will be people who will get a job before you, there'll be people who will get a job of a better package than you, or maybe
Exactly.
you are the one who's left behind for that certain period of time, or no, towards the end of the course, that you are there, and people, n number of people have got a job. Don't be disheartened. I know it's very easy for us to say it right now, because we have crossed that stage. Now we are at a position that we can still analyze and think, okay, and we can tell you our personal experience, because we also have faced that situation. It is not a very good situation wherein you get to hear from your family. I think parents also at some point of time tell you, इतना पैसा लगा लिया है, इतना टाइम दे दिया है, क्या हुआ, जॉब क्यों नहीं लग रही है? Your family and your friends and maybe your, see, peer pressure is always there. There will be people who will, try and tell you that, demean you in a way that you did
Exactly.
not get a job, or your package is so less. This is always there. And then there'll be people from your family or your neighbors coming and telling, giving you suggestions. People will suggest you without even understanding at what position you
And
are. They
people will suggest you without even having traveled the path that you are traveling right now. People with
yeah,
no MBA
exactly,
experience, people who have not been to a college, or maybe have been to a college say 30 years ago, they will come back and they will tell you, they will give you suggestions which are completely irrelevant, but they will, because they have to. They think
right.
they are the social keepers, and it is their responsibility to let you know that, oh my god, how bad is your life, and you haven't received a job yet. So yeah, so there are people
Exactly,
like that.
exactly.
But
Exactly. I was about to
ultimately,
say this.
we should, in the end, think that you are not the first person who is in this situation, and you will not be the last person who is
True,
in this
true.
situation, and this shall
Right.
pass too, or this
Exactly.
too shall
Truly
pass.
said. Truly said, Priya. Yeah. And it is like that. It People see, if you'll do good in life, if you'll do bad in life, when you're doing good, then also people, there would be people who will criticize you or say something bad or negative. And there will be people when you are not that successful, you haven't got a job, and you're not in that best phase of your life, then also people will criticize you. So make sure it doesn't make any sense of people telling you certain things whether you're doing good or bad. When you're doing good also, you should make this at point that you should not give a lot of importance to people who are saying good things also. Then they'll, like,
Yeah.
both the scenarios are completely equal. If you're not doing good, they'll say something or the other which will demotivate you and, you know,
Huh.
drag down you to a place wherein you will feel that, you know, I'm worthless, I'm not capable of doing this, I'm not capable, maybe I've chosen the wrong field.
Hmm.
People will say this, that, you know, अरे तूने तो ये प्रोफेशन ही गलत चूज कर लिया, इसमें तो कभी जॉब आती ही नहीं है, इसमें
Hmm.
तो कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी
Exactly.
ही नहीं है. So these words will, you'll always hear these things, so just ignore these things. This will not help you in any point of time. So
Exactly.
make sure you start work. See, if you feel you haven't bagged a job yet, be more aggressive. Start, don't stop your process of learning. Try and add something or the other in your CV which will help you bag a job. It is not that it's very difficult to get a job off campus. See, off campus, on campus, we've already discussed this. There are always advantages and disadvantages of off campus and on campus. But yes, you need to be very aggressive in terms of off campus. If you know, it's towards the end of my college and I haven't bagged a job, I don't want to go back home. Work hard, try and add something or the other in your CV, do certification, do an internship. See, I feel in your MBA also,
Hmm.
people at times this feel कि यार मेरे पापा की कंपनी है, मैं वहां जाके इंटर्नशिप कर लूंगा. But if you are going in your father's company, make sure you are learning something or the other. Internship is not a time to just pass time and get a certification that this person has done an internship in this project and have no actual learning. It's a very good opportunity for you to do an on the job kind of a training. So I think
Hmm.
internship plays a very important part. So I think if you haven't bagged the job yet, try and get an internship. Maybe that will help you. You get an internship with so and so firm, you start working with them.
Exactly.
Within a time span of 1 month or 2 months, they realize, you know, we have trained this person. This person is very capable. He's doing very well. I'll absorb this person. And this has happened with people. This is not a
Exactly.
hypothetical situation. This has happened to a people. Have
Exactly.
happened to people. In your initial internship as well, you have done an internship with a certain company, and during your normal internship period, they'll say, "See, we'll roll out an offer to you once you complete your MBA. Come and join us." So this
Exactly.
has happened. So be very rigorous and don't pay any heed to any of these statements which people pass on you saying that yaar iska to kuch hua hi nahi, isko to koi job nahi mili. Don't give attention. This will dishearten you. This will, you know, drag you down to a place wherein you will feel worthless, which will not eventually help you in your life.
Exactly. And I think, also, being around people who are, in the same journey as yours, who are also trying to get a job, not, sitting back at home and criticizing the situation, talking bad about everything, listening to all this bullshit and everything. You know, that also helps. Being at the right place also helps, because, say for example, you get to know that you have an interview, say on, you know 2 days after today, maybe tomorrow, or sometime soon in the future, and you are not in that particular city. So or you are in your hometown, which, and the journey from your hometown to that particular city takes around 1 or 2 days. So that is also a problem. I would not say that just go rent out a place and stay in a metro city just because, you're looking for a job. But that that option is not that bad to consider also, if you are sharing room or space with other people who are also a part of the journey, who are also, struggling in and doing the same thing daily. That makes you feel better. That makes you feel that you are not the only one who's left out, you know because y- because they understand your mental space. Second thing is, they, are a part of the process that you are a part of, so probably you can learn a few things from them, and, utilize those in your own journey, and in your own process, to improve that process. And moreover, if you are not around people who are not that productive or not that serious or not that optimistic about their life, you at least don't get or inculcate negative vibes from them. So that also helps. Positivity also helps. Moral of the story. और लग ही जाएगी 2-4 महीने बाद, अगर कॉलेज खत्म भी हो गया है तो 2 महीने बाद, 4 महीने बाद, 6 महीने बाद सबकी लग जाती है. एंड इवन इफ अगर लेट लगती है तो दैट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. इफ यू हैव हैड to search a job, even for a year after your college, and then you get a job, that's not a problem. Getting a job, after searching the job, say for an after an year your college has finished, is also equally valuable and important and good as somebody getting a job in the final year of their college. So getting a job is important. What do you have to say about it, Mayuri?
Right, so true, Priya. And initially, I feel like now the situation is completely different. It's like all the interviews and everything is going on online. But in a normal scenario, let's see, people, yes, people what they do after they complete their post grad or any other course, they feel, oh, it's okay. We haven't, like, it's not okay, but they haven't got a job. They feel like, let's go home. What's the point staying out here? Job to lag nahi rahi hai. This
Hmm.
attitude is always there, but I feel you should put in your effort, stay exactly like you said. You must have people, known people or your seniors or maybe your like your friends who also haven't got a job. Just rent out a place, try hard, try and apply for a number of jobs, try and build your CV more, try and do more certification. See, as time passes, for example, after 1 year you're getting an opportunity, but you should be ready for that opportunity at that point of time. If you did get an opportunity after 1 year and then see, I haven't revised certain things, so I'll not remember them at that point when people ask those questions to
Hmm.
me. So you need to make sure that in this process, you don't stop your learning. Revise what you
Exactly.
have already done in college and acquire
Exactly.
new skills. That will always help you. Maybe you didn't get a job at that point of time, but yeah, after 1 year, you have build your skills. Your CV is ready. You are well versed with all the concepts, and you get a better job.
Exactly.
You get a better
Yeah,
package.
that can be a
Yeah, you get
scenario.
a you get a better designation. You get a better profile which you are looking forward to. So don't stop your learning process and don't be disheartened and don't go home and and get into your comfort zone. So just avoid and do those things which will hamper your future, because this is a question. Like after when you're applying for a job after 1 year, they'll do ask you these questions that in that 1 year time span what all did you do. So you need to have an answer. See, I had this time in hand, I did my certification, I did an internship with this and this organization, I did a project on this and this topic. So it's always good to answer, and you should know that this question is always there. Not a negative question, they just want to know. The person is also curious to know that इस एक साल में क्या किया आपने, when
Exactly.
you want. So you need to have these answers.
Hmm. Or more or less सबकी लग जाती है. So it's not that bad situation to be very disheartened about. Just that you have
Right, right.
to be ready when the opportunity arrives, and you need
Exactly.
to keep grinding, right?
Right. This is always there. You need to be ready at any point of time. See, we used to get to hear from our dean that आधी रात को भी कोई interview के लिए बुलाए, so you should be ready. Yes, I will go for an interview. So this should be an attitude. So you need
Exactly.
to have that right attitude and that positivity in you to crack that interview and to look for that opportunity.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Mayuri. This was really insightful, and it was really nice having you on the Raw Mango story. I am sure all the viewers who watch this particular video will get to learn a lot and will get a very good dose of positivity also, optimism also. And for all those of you who are watching this particular video, if you have any other questions that you think Mayuri can answer to or I can cater to, please comment down below. Please let us know what is, if there's anything else that we can help you with. And we would love to do another video in order to answer all those questions and chat about your queries. Other than that, I would like to let all of you know that Mayuri has a knack for traveling. She loves to travel and has an amazing Instagram account, so I'll link her Instagram account, her LinkedIn account, my LinkedIn account in the description box below. Please go check that out and let us know if you have any other questions. We will be back with another video on a similar topic. Till then, keep watching the Raw Mango story. Thank you so much.